Good morning, BEC Board Directors, distinguished guests, speakers, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to BEC EnviroSeries Conference, Blueprint for Green Prosperity, Financing Economy, Natural Capital, and Resilience in the Northern Metropolis. I'm Abraham from BEC Communications team, and it is my pleasure to be your MC today. Before we begin, I would like to thank our sponsors, including CLP Power Hong Kong Limited, Beam Society Limited, Gammon Construction Limited, the Hong Kong Shenzhen Innovation and Technology Park Limited, MTR Corporation Limited, Sun Hong Kai Properties Limited, China Camp Group, the Hong Kong Jockey Club, Signal Group, the Hong Kong Electric Company Limited. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank our members and supporting organizations for their unwavering support to make today's event happen. Without further ado, may I now invite our BEC Chairman, Mr. Kevin O'Brien, to deliver his welcoming remarks. Mr. O'Brien, please.
Dr. Fu, distinguished speakers, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning and a very warm welcome to the BEC EnviroSeries Conference 2026. So on behalf of the Business Environment Council, I'm delighted to welcome you to this biannual gathering under the theme Blueprint for Green Prosperity, Financing the Economy, Natural Capital and Resilience in the Northern Metropolis. Today we come together to explore solutions, share knowledge and build partnerships that will shape a greener, more resilient Northern Metropolis. We are honoured to have Mr. David Lamb, JP, Under-Secretary for Development, as our guest of honour, who will join us shortly, and he will share his insights on the Northern Metropolis as a major development priority for Hong Kong. And we look forward to his keynote address, which is scheduled for 11:15 this morning. The Northern Metropolis is not only a major development project, but a strategic opportunity for Hong Kong to advance the city's next phase of sustainable growth. Importantly, the development of the Northern Metropolis has been recognised in the National Development Agenda, with the 15th five-year plan explicitly calling for its accelerated advancement. The national direction gives the project added urgency, momentum and significance. The government has been streamlining administrative workflows, simplifying procedures and introducing more efficient processes so that projects can progress in a timely manner. This reflects an innovative approach to delivering major public projects. And as we expedite its development, we must also ensure that the Northern Metropolis is planned with nature in mind. The area holds irreplaceable ecological assets, wetlands, wildlife habitats, and ecological corridors that support biodiversity, flood mitigation, and climate adaptation. These are assets that must be respected, protected, and integrated into the planning process. To achieve Hong Kong's 2050 carbon neutrality target, the Northern Metropolis must be low carbon by design, resilient by nature, and inclusive by planning. Every decision on energy, buildings, mobility, and land use must integrate with the climate-nature circularity nexus. With good planning and careful execution, we can make the best use of these natural resources whilst keeping carbon emissions under control, thereby creating value for both the environment and the economy. And this is where nature-based solutions, or NBS, become essential. The Civil Engineering and Development Department, together with the Agriculture, Fisheries and Conservation Department, have recently launched the Hong Kong Nature-Based Solutions Design Guidelines. These guidelines provide practical direction for infrastructure and development projects, and the government has stated that the guidelines will be applied in the planning and development of the Northern Metropolis to promote biodiversity, climate resilience, and harmony between development and conservation. That is exactly the kind of modern planning mindset we need. one that sees nature and biodiversity not as an afterthought, but as part of the solution. And so we are pleased that the important theme will be further explored in the afternoon session, where my friend engineer Michael Fong, JP, Director for Civil Engineering and Development, will deliver a keynote speech on envisaging world-class metropolis, where nature and resilience drive prosperity. His remarks will offer a valuable insight into how nature-based planning and resilient development can work hand in hand to support Hong Kong's long-term prosperity. On the other hand, given the huge capital requirement for such a mega project, there ought to be sustainable, scalable, and collaborative funding models to help provide the momentum. The Northern Metropolis can be a showcase for turning green projects into investable assets. Investors look for policy certainty, de-risk structures, measurable impact, and clear exit pathways. They want to ensure their projects protect the environment, coexist harmoniously with nature, withstand climate risks, and deliver stable returns whilst contributing to Hong Kong's carbon neutrality goals. This is why public-private philanthropic partnerships, or PPPP, is so critical today. PPPP is a collaborative governance model that brings together the public sector's policy mandate, the private sector's efficiency and capital, and philanthropy's mission-driven patience. It answers three critical questions amongst investors. Can green investments deliver stable long-term returns? Secondly, can sustainability drive competitive advantages for business? And lastly, can we align public good, private capital, and planetary boundaries? In short, PPPP can de-risk early-stage green infrastructure, low financing costs, and structure projects so that financial returns align with climate action, green jobs, and ecological conservation. Hong Kong can leverage its strengths as an international green finance hub to lead such partnerships and set a standard for the Greater Bay Area and beyond. If successful, the Northern Metropolis becomes a regional blueprint or even a global calling card for green urban developments. At BEC, we have been the trusted bridge between government and the business sector on environmental and sustainability issues. Through our environmental focus areas and advisory groups, we are driving policy advocacy to ensure the new developments are built on world-class green standards. By convening infrastructure and energy stakeholders, we are helping to operationalize the low-carbon infrastructure this region urgently needs. Furthermore, at BEC, our BEC Net Zero Carbon Charter mobilizes the collective action of 99 signatories to accelerate decarbonisation across the business sector. Many of those signatories are in the room today, in step with Hong Kong's pathway towards becoming carbon neutrality before 2050. Through today's conference, we connect policymakers, developers, corporates, and innovators to share practical, industry-based insights that can inform policymaking. We also aim to foster cross-sector collaboration in areas such as blue-green infrastructure, climate resilience, and sustainable finance, all of which directly support the Northern Metropolis agenda. For instance, our deep engagement on systemic climate resilience involves aligning technical realities into a cohesive adaptation framework with the business's contribution, such as the government's shoreline management guideline for coastal development. Concurrently, our capacity building programs, ranging from nature-related financial disclosures to carbon auditing, are actively equipping the business community with the tools required to invest confidently in the region's blue-green infrastructure and natural capital. Today's program will take us through 4 sessions. We begin with Financing the Future, exploring how PPPP and blended finance can unlock scalable, low-risk capital to fund green infrastructure. We then turn to green tech and new industries, reframing decarbonisation as a powerful driver of innovation, industrial upgrading, and quality growth across the Santin, Technopole, and new economic hubs. Next, we examine the business case for natural capital. Next, sorry, I just lost my place there. For natural capital and highlighting wetlands, ecological corridors, and blue-green infrastructure as investable assets that enhance livability and long-term value. Finally, we look at systemic climate resilience, addressing cross-sector physical climate risks to safeguard long-term stability. I encourage all of you to engage actively in today's discussions, exchange insights, and explore opportunities for partnership, turning our vision for the Northern Metropolis into globally replicable models of sustainable urban development. Before I conclude, I wish to extend my sincere appreciation to our sponsors, our speakers, for their invaluable contributions. Your dedication to advancing sustainability and fostering collaboration is instrumental in making this conference possible. Finally, I wish you all a very fruitful and inspiring conference. And that's the end of my speech, just as I lose my voice. Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. O'Brien. Please take a seat.